All right, let's go to our picks, and I do have Mark's picks here, and actually have my picks too. But we're going to change it a little bit. You can go with the 4 games we always choose, or you can pick just the 4 that you feel the strongest about, and we want you to give us your number 1 lock. Last week, Phil was number 1. He was 3-1. He had a good week. He's at 53% for the season, so he's coming back up. Mark is pulling up the rear. He's used to that. It's 1-3.
He's disgusting.
He's at 55%. And then Anton and I were both 2-2, and we're at 58% for the season. So Anton and I are making some money here.
Am I at 100%?
You are, well,
or
you
zero?
are.
Or 0%, yeah.
You are 100% of
0.
You're 0-0. So who wants to go first?
Let's let our honorary guest go first.
Sure. Do we want to save locks for last?
Yeah, we'll save the lock for last.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, we already talked about it a little bit, but New England minus 6.5. I like that.
Okay.
I was all over them against Falcons too.
Okay.
I mean, for no particular reason besides the ones we've already talked about with them. That's a pretty covered game. I also like. I think Pittsburgh can cover 4.5 against Cincinnati. Correct? Right? They're playing the Bengals.
Yeah, and it's in Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah, they're. The thing about the Steelers too is like I'm not big on Big Ben, but I mean they're playing games close. They almost beat the Chargers there. The defense is always the Steelers' defense.
They play. They definitely come to play.
Yeah. Well, the thing about the Steelers is you just can't count them out of any game. Like
Mike Tomlin's a top 10 coach probably.
No.
All time.
Mike Tomlin, you're right. I think after Belichick,
yeah.
if I was picking a coach, it would be probably Mike Tomlin. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Who's your next game?
I like Philly to win that game. I like 3.5. It's 3.5, right?
3.5, yeah.
Yeah, 3.5. Which I kind of don't like the half point there, but
yeah, that hook is scary,
especially with it being in MetLife.
Especially their history, no matter who's good, who's not.
Divisional games are always choppy, but I got to take the Eagles and knock on wood because I need to win this game for just being an Eagles fan.
Yeah. I gave up. I stopped calling the Browns.
Yeah, I'm staying away from that game. It's it's toxic for me.
Okay, and then we're going to save our locks.
Yeah, we'll save our locks. Okay.
Phil, what do you got?
All right, so I got the Green Bay Packers welcoming in the Rams at 0.5 point.
That was my honorable mention.
So basically a pick 'em. I take Green Bay.
Okay, and Green Bay is given a half point or giving.
They're giving a 0.5 point. Okay, well, it's a pick 'em either way. So I'll take Green Bay, and then my second pick, I'm going to go to the wonderful land of Jacksonville.
Ooh.
And Jacksonville is getting a point. I'm going to take the Falcons on the road to beat Jacksonville by more than 1 point.
Okay, so you're picking the Falcons, and they're giving 1 point.
Falcons are giving 1 point. Yeah?
Okay.
There you go, -1.
Yeah.
Okay. Then my third pick is going to be the Chicago Bears at Detroit. I'm going to take Detroit +3. And I probably should talk about the games a little bit, but my thinking here, as you mentioned, I think O'Doyle Rules is going to start for Detroit, and I think there's a good chance that the Red Rocket Rifle is going to start for Chicago. Chicago's on the road in a short week. I think Allen Robinson is banged up with a hamstring, and Detroit is just due. I think this is the time. I mean,
and I think we said
they've almost beat. They've played all these teams close, and this is probably the worst team they're going to play. And they're without their stud
in the season,
quarterback. Yeah,
this was the game we said that if Detroit was going to win, this was going to be it.
And they're getting 3 at home.
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't win this week, when do they? I'm going to err on the side of them winning a game this season. I think this is the one.
Yeah, they've lost 3 games by 3 points. So you got a good chance at least covering. So.
Yeah, they should. I think
that's
they should
the
cover.
key right there. Yeah, covering.
Okay, so Mark is choosing, of course, this is not unusual. He's chosen the Bears.
Is he a Bears fan?
Yes, he is. That's one of the many things that we don't agree with him, but except for sweetness. I'll give him sweetness. He is, though, favoring with you and going with the Eagles and taking the 3.5. And then he is choosing the Vikes to win that game.
Are they?
Yeah, right.
They're underdogs against the 49ers, right?
Yeah, -3.
On the road, yeah. They're +3.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you. So my picks, the 3 that are not locks, I actually have the Eagles too. I feel really good about them.
Man, the public is liking the Eagles,
which is bad. It's a bad sign. Yeah.
Oh man.
I love.
I don't think that they don't. I mean, they could win. The reason I'm staying away from the game, to be honest, is because it's a division game, and that hook
It's scary.
scares me on either side of it, really.
It's scary.
And then I don't know what this offense is going to look like with Kitchens calling it. It could be totally different.
Yeah.
They could come out and go spread set the first 2 drives of the game. I don't know.
That's a good point. There's no tape on it.
So it worries me.
I just feel like I like the Giants. I think Saquon's going to have a lot better game. I think Kitchens going to call a better game. I think Kitchens, and he did this with the Browns, he knows how to call for a bad offensive line. Like, he knows. So he'll have Danny bootlegging some. I mean, he'll do what he can. I just think the Eagles are starting to figure it out.
I think they are too.
Yeah, and I like Hurts, and I don't know how well the Giants' D is going to do against a running
I
quarterback.
think it depends. Yeah, that's a fair point.
That's why I'm going Eagles. So I like that.
Knock on wood again. I'm superstitious.
I don't think this is. It's probably like
It's for Mike.
for Michael. Yeah.
I am.
Fingers crossed then.
I am picking the Ravens.
Okay.
I can't.
Against the Browns.
I can't pick the Browns. Now, here's the terrible
That's
thing.
why I stay away from my games because I don't want to pick against my team.
Yeah.
So the terrible thing is the Browns play the Ravens, have a bye, the Ravens again.
Mhm.
So if they win both games, they're in first place in that division.
It's a big if.
Huge if. And I think the pressure is just going to be too much for the Browns. They're going to wilt. I picked the Ravens, and then my
And that's what plus
that's
minus 4.
Yeah, minus
Okay.
4. And then I took the Bucks, give them 3 also.
Okay.
So, and now let's go to our locks.
So just go right into your lock since you're already talking.
My lock is actually I'm taking the 49ers. I feel pretty good about them. They looked good the last 2 weeks, beat the Rams, and then this past week looked really good against the Jags. I think Kittle being back is enough of a difference.
Yeah.
I think Jeff Wilson is helping the run game. And, in fact, they could have scored more against the Jags pretty easily. So I chose the 49ers as my lock. And Mark chose the Ravens as his lock, pretty much to insult me, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's definitely what he's doing.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. I just haven't seen enough Vikings content this year, but I picked them to win that game too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Vikes.
No.
The Ravens.
Yeah, no, the 49ers.
Oh, 49ers.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, you did? Good. Good.
Well,
Yeah.
not in here, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good team to bet on, I think.
All right, so Phil, your lock, and Zach, your lock.
Okay, I'll go first. My lock is going to be the game we talked about earlier.
The Browns.
No. I'm taking the Raiders plus 7.5 points on the road in Dallas.
As the
in
lock.
The big D. They're getting.
That's a lot.
I don't know why the line is this
That's a lot of
big.
points.
It smells a little bit to me, but I just don't see how this offense
It's on Thanksgiving, and it's
without
at Dallas.
Lamb. Yeah, they tend, but
They tend not.
I mean they don't. They're not great in prime. I mean this year, okay, but Dallas just always folds. They're without their top 2 wide receivers. Now, if you're telling me Zeke is going to go off, run wild, then maybe I can see it. But Vegas, for all their faults, they've played solid for most of the year. They've showed up in some spots. I'm going to count on them being relatively healthy, and Dallas missing some pieces and not playing very well
Yeah.
2 of the past 3 weeks.
Does Vegas ever play on Thanksgiving?
Not to my.
I haven't played in a long time that I know about. Because
We're talking about it,
Detroit and Dallas.
I like
Dallas-
to look that up. Like the Thanksgiving stat, I feel like is a real stat.
It is a
Like,
stat.
Yeah.
Trends like that, yeah.
Well,
I
Detroit
didn't look
normally,
anything up.
honestly, Detroit normally wins on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Or plays very competitively,
Yeah.
like extremely.
So Dallas, they had that game where Cooper Rush started, right? They beat Minnesota, and then they followed that up with getting shitbagged, right, by Denver, right?
Yeah.
And then they bounced back last week, right? Who did they play?
Dallas.
They played the Falcons.
They beat the Falcons,
The
right?
breaks off the Falcons.
They beat the brakes off the Falcons, which okay, and then they came back and lost to the Chiefs, but they looked bad.
They did look bad.
They did, yeah.
But I'm going to say I think the Chiefs on defense are starting to figure it out a little bit.
That's fair.
Because, they put some money into their defense in the offseason.
Yeah.
I think they're getting a little bit healthy, and they're kind of figuring things out.
I just don't see where they go with the ball. I don't see where they get an offense besides Zeke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and how about your lock?
It's funny that I'm going last for this because I actually like Chicago to win this game.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. And we, some of my family's from Michigan, so we follow the Lions probably closer than any other NFL fan would because it's the Lions. But Tim Boyle, that is my only reason.
Did you hear about his?
He stinks.
Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
So he started only 1 year
Yeah.
in Division 1.
Yeah.
and sucked.
Yeah,
Like sucked.
terribly.
Terrible. Like
So-
3 touchdowns to
Naturally.
like 12 interceptions.
Yeah.
Lions sign him up.
So, well, it gets better. So he goes down a division to FBS, right? And you would think, okay, he's coming from Division 1. He's going to tear it apart.
Yeah.
No. It's like 9-8. Like, just terrible. Undrafted.
Yeah.
Somehow talked his way into
Dark horse.
Being
Uh,
Aaron Rodgers' protege.
being Aaron Rodgers' protege.
That should be the soundboard. Wow.
So he was the he was the backup for Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love, and then I guess they
and
cut
then
him.
somehow, this is
So
where
he's been in the QB room with Rod. He's been learning.
learning to throw 75 yards in a game with
There
2
you go.
interceptions
Yeah.
to lose to the Browns.
It was terrible, but he is the third string. But this is what I want to know is who's the second string that they jumped him for
David Blow.
Which
That
I
was
actually liked him. I actually liked
He
him.
looked okay. Yeah, I don't know
he's
what's
a Purdue
going on.
quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty good in college.
And
I think.
his whole, I mean, his wife is athletic, or his fiance.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, that's
Well, Mark will love that pick.
for everything that you said about the Lions covering. I agree with, but Tim Boyle is just a huge.
Tim Boyle's he's gonna show you guys.
Hey, prove me wrong, Tim Boyle.
Boyle
Please,
rolls.
please win a game. But
Boyle rules.
Old Boyle rules.